All right. Shalom. It should be good. All right. Shalom. All right. Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and as well as the elders, and a peace and blessings to all you Akim out there who pushing his word with truth and sincerity, and as well as all you believers out there who believe in the gospel. And it's the brother Quara Abad from the GMS Houston camp. And today, Salaki, the Elder Taza Pa, he won't be present today. He had a few things to take care of, dealing with Babylon. As a scripture say, we are yet this day in our captivity. So, so a Salaki, there's a Quan won't be on today. But Lord willing, he'll be back next Thursday. But what happened to it shouldn't be long. Kind of got two main things kind of want to touch on here real briefly. And one of them, although it's been happening, it really haven't been in the news yet, which I'm gonna start with two various topics, two other articles first. But getting straight into it, as you see, look, a lot still going on. A lot happening, a lot going on, but the world, they only focus on it. The Wadi Bashim Al Shah, the world only focus on the big events, the real so-called things that happen, like the 9/11 type events. But the Lord, he got us keened in on even the small matters that's going to lead up to a lot of these things popping off, man. Because again, we already know Esau, he only put on his media what he want to show to people. He not really putting a lot what's going on in the world, man. And Shalom Tala is Aquanium, Akim, Akwath, maybe tuning in Yahweh Shemel Shah Brakatham. Hey, Shalom to the El Dr. Zar, Yahweh Shemel Shah Brakatah. Hey, the brother Yakana, Shalom Ak, Yahweh Shemel Shah Brakatah. Hey, El Dr. Zar, the water for this article right here. The water for that. That's fire. But we're gonna hop into it. But again, so what's been going on, which really haven't been in the news a lot. They haven't been making a big deal of it. But we'll kind of play a little bit what the FBI director, what he been saying. And again, Esau, they say certain things, but they already got it planned. There's been a buildup. They're getting ready for those so-called terror IS attacks, if I spelled that correctly, So they're just setting the stage. And you know what I was thinking, as all this coming out, all these protests starting to come, the FBI saying they're looking into lone actors, whether doing it themselves or with a group. You got Deacon Haka or the Sakari. He come out. You see, titling his video how the so-called Hebrew Israelites gonna have, just go look at his video or go look at the Elder Manasseh Zagba. But again, so the FBI and Esau saying a lot of things about to happen. Somebody go do some type of attack. But then we'll get into. I'll play this video from Bradion.com from Mike Adams, him right here. I know a lot of times we just hear his voice, but that's him right there. So what he going into, it says the U.S. federal government has gone rogue and now only seeks to harm people and destroy nations. And from the beginning of his video, I thought he would just go kind of, just talk. But everything he was saying, it was hitting a point. It's like everything he was saying is like it's in the scriptures. Because we're in that time, let's get a scripture before we get the news, but we're in a time where the Lord word is speaking, man. And the first precept came to mind is Revelation 12:12, because he realized this government is about to turn on its own people. So we definitely in that time. And again, the writing is on the wall, and he gonna touch on it. And him being an American, So before we hop into it, let's get a precept real quick. So this Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 1. It says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and I will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. Now, prophets of old, watchmen of old, they was actually given high towers to stand on that time, with the ram's horn and blow when they see danger coming. But now today, we don't have high towers, but the Lord blessed us with this device in our hands. So what's the high tower? That's these different websites, RT News, Natural News. You see that showing us what's coming. And we seeing what the Lord gonna say. And again, how the Lord speak by the things he do in the earth. It says, verse 2, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision, it's the point, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. And how is it speaking? Again, the Lord giving us tangible proof. Now we can prove these things. Again, once upon a time, when the apostles, started posting up on YouTube, in 2007, which they was been pushing way before that, but they was going into the MOTB. They didn't have as much proof to back up what they were saying. Although, they had, posters and proof, certain things here and there, but not as much. Now today it's speaking even more, because again, and shout out to the El Dr. Zario, he put this lesson, not the lesson, but this article in our group chat. It says the Daily Huddle. It says and we'll get into it. The World Economic Forum, or the WEF, says 98% of central banks are preparing to launch CBDCs as finance enters next phase. Again, it's speaking. We ain't just talking. The Lord ain't got the prophets just talking no more. It's happening, man. It's for everybody to see. So going back to Habakkuk, it says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. That remind me what the Lord told Esdras in 2nd Esdras 6. He said, be not afraid, Esdras, because the word is for the end. The word is for the end, and we're in the end. It says, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. So I hop into it. And again, Elder Taza partner here. So hey, brothers who tuning in, y'all got precepts. I'm on that. So this is the first one. So this from Zero Hedge, and this came out today. I seen this. That's why I say breaking news. Now, the past couple of weeks, we've been kind of touching on or mentioning this new bird flu. They says that's been detected. First thing, they found somebody in the factory. Then they detected it here. Then it was in cattle in Texas. Then the chickens last week. So now they're saying they discovered it in grocery store milk. And again, I forget when it was. It was a couple of weeks ago. We seen the same pattern they're using. Whether, look, they keep this name of the so-called bird flu, or they change it. They could change the name, just like they did CV. They changed it about 4 or 5 times, But they're using this now. Now I ain't gonna read into the whole thing. This kind of, the various topics portion. I throw everything into the chat. So now they're saying this stuff is in grocery store milk. So now they got to go back. Let's read a little bit of it. And it's from Zero Hedge. So it says, breaking news, FDA says bird flu discovered in grocery store milk. In latest avian flu development, it was announced yesterday that the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, which that's a joke in itself, said it had detected viral particles of H5N1 avian influenza in milk purchased ED, or past tense, like what's one body? Past tense, purchased at grocery stores. So look, they might use this as an excuse. And I said, well, we made the report, now people got it. So again, keep our eyes out for that. We'll see what that come to. I'll put that in the chat. So this next one, it says Now, again, we just read a little bit into it, but we'll get it again. So this says the Daily Huddle. It says the World Economic Forum says that 98% of central banks are preparing to launch CBDCs as finance enters next phase. And again, this was put out 2 days ago, April 23rd, 2024. Let's read a little bit. So again, these things are speaking. And now see, the past couple of weeks, months, what's the main things we've been talking about? The MOTB and World War III. That's the main two prophecies. Main two prophecies. The last couple of weeks, not just us, but apostles, elders, brothers, a mainstream media, these underground websites. The hot news been this technology in hands and heads and World War III. Now we come into the phase, which the segments tonight going to touch on these uproars of the people, which is starting right over here in America. And all these things about to happen, but the Lord hitting on all phases. That remind me of 2nd Ezra, the 4th chapter, in the 37th verse. By measure have he measured the times, by number have he numbered the times. He doeth not move nor stir them until the said measure be fulfilled. Because because we know the script. We read it, we study it every day, we teach it. So we know the things that's coming, and we see how the Lord do things. Man, I'm going to get back into this article, but we see how the Lord do things, and that's what should keep us excited as believers. We watching the story play out. It's like we should be on the edge of our seat seeing how the Lord going to do it, though. But we see, as far as he'll have Iran and Israel and Russia and America and Ukraine, World War III getting built up. Then at a season, that'll die down a little bit. And looking in the general of Iran get killed, but that'll die down a little bit. Then all of a sudden it's CV, is a disease, not a pestilence. You see? Then the world shut down. Then lockdowns, that'll die down a little bit. Now Elon Musk come with the MOTB in the heads and getting all that, then that's dying down. Then you had the George Floyd riots. Now we're seeing that same thing happen all over again. The Lord building everything up for the perfect time to once whatever event happened or a list of events happen, everything can implode at once. Is that the right word? Let me see. Oh, it's explode, implode. Make sure I'm using the right word. Yep, that is. At once, it's going to fall. So let's get into this. And as we see everything ready, so it says more than 98% of the world's central banks are researching, experimenting, piloting, or deploying central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, according to the World Economic Forum. And we've been keeping up with that with the map. We got two of them. Let's see, because it got a map of everybody and keep all countries track. So you see it right here. Some researching, some using it right now to prove, the proof of concept, and that's where America at. They got the Fed now. That's how they started the foundation to be digital, so on and so forth. But you got people piloting, you got people launching, man. But going back to this, it says the WEF, a Switzerland-based international organization focused on public-private cooperation, predicts in a new report that there could be 24 live CBDCs by 2030. And that word by is important because they saying by 2030. That's when they expecting it to start. So that means they gotta begin the process right now. The world got to change right now. It ain't go, look, no, we ain't got to wait on all this in 2030. Then they going to start their process. No, they planning on beginning the whole thing by that year, Agenda 2030. So they got to start now. The world got to change right now, man. We definitely in that time. Things got to speed up. It says, and that's what Mike go into in this video, because he's saying how America could clearly see is losing its grip on the earth. Man, this is beautiful, because again, I ain't even plan on playing this video, but I listened to it the first time. I'm like, man, he said a good bit, played it back, and I was like, man, he made every point he made. That's prophecy. He said America allies ain't messing with them no more. Don't trust them. Nobody like America. But the point is, all these things are happening perfectly, man. So what he's saying is America, as its sin is falling, is trying to take down everybody else. It got to take down everybody else and start a new system. Hey, a year ago, Joe Biden said the digital world is coming, and America need to be the leaders of it. We played that video. Let's see. All right, so I'm gonna just throw this in the chat again. The water to the El Tazari for that. Yep, next phase. That's the next phase. The next phase of that's the next phase of prophecy. We ain't just always go be at this phase forever, just talking about the MOTB, seeing Elon Musk put it in people's heads and seeing people get in their hands to buy and sell. Look, and seeing Bishop Nate saying it's an embargo. Remember, Ezekiel 12 said the time coming. Before we move on and get into let's get a precept. The Lord said the time coming to where nobody in Israel gonna be able to say what these prophecies, what they ain't. You ain't gonna better lie or get around it. We in that time to where it's about to be out in front of everybody, man. The next phase. So which mean, and how is it possible for the world or even America to go to the next phase? The first one, this one, gotta go first. It gotta go. It gotta crash. So we're in the season of the Black Swan season, as Mike said, right? The next phase, all we need is that event, just like 9/11. That brought in the Patriot Act. That gave Esau the right to put cameras everywhere, TSA, to take away freedoms for security. This one will be worse, whatever it may be, and it might be and sound like it's gonna be global, just like the CV. Come on, man. The next phase. That's a lesson. The next phase. But let's get this in Ezekiel 12, because the Lord gonna take it to the next phase. Right now, they could say what it's not. Right now, they could scoff and say it ain't no MOTB. They could say it ain't the MOTB ain't the RFID, man. But this the next phase of things. This is Ezekiel 12 and 21. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, what is that proverb that ye have in the land of Israel, which will people before a place? So within this truth, this Israelite awakening, a lot of people got this mindset. And look, even outside of this truth, people don't believe we really gonna go into the next phase of things like this, like the world gonna change like we know it is, the dollar gonna collapse, chips gonna be in hands. They don't believe that. But this is what they saying. It says the days are prolonged and every vision faileth. That'll never happen. Not in our lifetime. Let's see what the Lord got to say. Verse 23. Tell them therefore, thus saith Yahweh power, I will make this proverb to cease, and they shall no more use it as a proverb in Israel. But say unto them, the days are at hand, and the effect of every vision. Come on, man. That speaks for itself. We come into the next phase to where the Lord gonna prove what it is. Verse 24, for there shall be no more any vain vision, nor flattering divination within the house of Israel. Bishop Nate ain't gonna better put a video up no more and say, no, it ain't no, he going, well, in that day, he might say, well, like, so like, I'm excited. But like the Apostle Ramla be saying, when he be, kind of imitating Bishop Nate. What I said, morons. He might say, it was but the point is, they're gonna have to own up to it, man, one way or another. You ain't gonna better say it's an embargo. When Jacob's trouble kick off, ISUPK ain't gonna better say Jacob's trouble gay. You gonna be in it. You gonna be in it. It says, for there shall be no more any vain vision, nor flattering divination within the house of Israel. For I am Yahweh, and I will speak. And how you speak by the prophets. So if we out here saying these things, if we've been saying these, the apostles, the elders, the bishops, brothers, been saying these things for years, the Lord says, and the word that I shall speak shall come to pass. It shall be no more prolonged. For in your days, O rebellious house, will I say the word and will perform it, saith the Lord power. And these got to be the times. because these times are far different from any other times, man. Because people say, yeah, there's been earthquakes in diverse places, there's been famines, there's been uproars of the people forever throughout history. But it's been never throughout history that as those things was going on, now World War III is about to get popped off. Never in history. At the same time, all those things was going on and World War III, you got the MOTB about to be released. Never in history. We in that time, and Esau getting exposed, and the Israelites waking up, everything happening. What else we waiting on, man? But the Lord to come back. The MOTB got to be mandated. World War III gonna happen, and because in the midst of that, Jacob's trouble gonna kick off. It's not much we waiting on. That's what make these times that much more different. You see? But so I'll move on. Did I throw that in the chat? I'm gonna throw that one in the chat and we'll move on. All right, so you got this. So this situation been going on. Now, again, it's been in the news here and there, but they haven't really been reporting on what's happening like that. Now, even he been on fire lately. Snyder reports. I don't know his first name. I don't even know if it's his name Snyder or that's just a name, but he been on fire lately. He been getting busy. And so what he was reporting on is that a lot of people who've been getting arrested been silenced. They can't get no interviews. However you gonna go into it, I'm gonna let them speak. But it's been a lot of reports of anti-small hat here in Babylon the Great, here in America. Even look at colleges, a lot of them students, a lot of them not. And what the FBI reporting on, they say, look, they're looking out for lone actors to do something crazy. Now, we know how Esau get down, just like the George Floyd protests. They just said it was niggas out there breaking glass and burning stuff and tearing down places, but it was undercover Edomites out there doing that. You see? So it'll be a easy thing for Esau, FBI, CIA, a mercenary, whoever, to dress up as a protester and go out there and call something and then kickstart everything, man. Because they ain't just anti small hat, they pro-Palestinian. They pro-Middle East, as they will call it, man. So that even should raise alarm or raise red flags to America. Because what's one thing they fear? They already feared, you got to watch your words, the terror, IST. They already fear that from these immigrants, how much more domestically. You see, so I'm gonna hop into it. I'm gonna let them speak. We're just going to spirit.
Here in the United States.
Let me make sure it's playing. Okay, it's playing.
States is now happening, and it's all exactly what we've been worried about here in the United States is now happening, and it's all because of a war that is going on in the Middle East. But now we are getting real warnings, real concerns from the FBI and Homeland Security that a lone wolf attack here on U.S. soil is becoming closer. So I want to address what is going on, why this is such a concern now, and what just happened over the past 2 days that is increasing this warning. So make sure you stick around for this entire video, and I'll explain exactly what is going on. But all I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds to go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now let's begin. So here's what's happening that has many people extremely concerned. We are now seeing pro-Palestinian protests that are sweeping United States college campuses. This is something that is extremely troubling. Not the fact that we are seeing protests, because we see protests all the time. Some are very peaceful, but these are, pro-Palestinian, anti-Israeli, right? They have different names, but they're the same thing. They're protesting war and the funding of the United States on these wars. I want to show you a couple clips. This right here, these are riot police, and they are at Yale. Okay, just look at this video.
And then give me, well, because I didn't really want to stop him and let him speak, but we can't look at these things like, because a lot of stuff happening, so it's easy to see one thing and just let it blow over, right? But everything that's happening, especially in these times, it means something, man. Whether it be a big reaction from these protests that's going on, or not, but it's turning up that spirit of coming against the government. It's turning up that spirit and putting that in people's spirit to do these things, man. To riot, so on and so forth, and that falls right into what it said was going to happen in end time prophecy. Or look, or a lot of other colleges might catch on to it. And look, at this protest, you might probably have a white cop just put his knee on another nigga neck, man. Who knows? But anything can happen.
No, this isn't Gaza. This is Yale.
It's not Gaza. This is Yale University. Okay.
Yale, come on, man.
A very prominent college. Okay. A very good school. This is Yale University. People are outside chanting. Okay. There's riot police there to prevent anything from breaking out and escalating, like we will talk about in just a moment. Because this right here is Columbia University. Again, another very good school. Just look at this video.
Demonstrators have set up more than 24 new tents outside Columbia University in the wake of last week's protests, which resulted in more than 100 arrests. In new video seen here, pro-Palestinian students can be seen creating a new encampment on the...
Now, what they just said is this is after more than 130 students were arrested. Okay, more than, well, I don't want to just say students, protesters were arrested. The reason why so many people were arrested, they didn't leave. Okay, but here's the problem now. The problem, and this is one of the concerns, is these people are now being somewhat silenced. And what they don't want, and what the United States is known for, is freedom of speech, right? We have all of our freedoms. The concern now is these people are being silenced because they were arrested. And if police come in, whether it's riot police or just regular state police, they come in, try to clear out the campuses. The concern is, are we seeing that our rights are being, well, taken away? We don't have a freedom of speech. Well, that's the concern. And this is why some are saying they are really concerned that this is when we are going to see this lone wolf attack. Let's look at this. It says anti-Semitism on college surges as agitators take over. It says police are removing anti-Israel protesters from Yale's campus Monday after a week of demonstrations calling for the university to divest from military weapon manufacturers. Students at Columbia University also were told all classes will be held virtually on Monday as anti-Israel protesters have taken over the campus. Again, this is nothing new. We've seen protests before, but what's different this time is they are extremely upset. They are wanting answers, not the United States to go out and fund more wars, pay for more weapons manufacturing, pay for more stuff to Israel, and humanitarian aid to Gaza, and more funding to Ukraine. They don't want that. But this is where we have been warned before. The FBI director, Christopher Wray, he said he's been concerned about a lone wolf or small group that they will draw twisted inspiration from events in the Middle East and Russia.
And again, that's why I found it strange with hearing about how the FBI director been saying this. Then you got Deacon Haka post that, about the weapons of MD. Come on, man. But they just need something. And again, they can set up an actor to do something. Just a group of people, Antifa or whatever, go out and do something. The Proud Boys, or hire people who dress in the Israelite garb.
They said, or he said that they
what they've been saying with this too is that they could use this to even bring out more police, or more security on campuses, so on and so forth. But let's play a little bit more, and I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna get a precept to. I'm gonna move on and play another couple minutes of this one. Move on. Let's see if we got something else.
They the FBI believes that we are closer to a potential attack, but it will likely be a lone wolf attack. Now, I want to play this other clip for you. This is from a student, from Yale, who was actually jabbed in the eye during a protest. Just listen to this.
Free press. Tell me a little bit about what was going on when you were there. What did you see all around you? And then what happened?
Sure, of course. So over the past week or so at Yale, anti-Semitic student protesters have taken over a central plaza on our campus, setting up a tent encampment, among other things, pictures to commemorate terrorists. And this culminated in multiple nights of overnight encampment in the central plaza and protests with hundreds of people. I think it was 500 when I came on Saturday night.
All right, so look, we're gonna move on. This is a quick little clip. 2 days ago, it says anti-small hat protesters carry flares to march on NYPD headquarters after over 150 arrested at NYU. You see how easy it is to set somebody up just to do something right, right now? Come on, man. So look out for that. Right? So I'm going to get a quick precept. This 2nd Ezra chapter 9 and verse 1 in the GNT. It says, he answered, consider, and this is what he said. This is the Lord and Ezra's, or the angel having a conversation. It says, he answered, consider all these things very carefully. When you see, because it's the point in 2nd Ezra, the 8th chapter at the end, because we're in 9, at the end, Ezra told the Lord, he said, look, you showed me everything that's going to happen at the end of the world. But exactly what time will these things happen? Ezra wanted to know specifically. So this is the Lord's response. He answered, consider all these things very carefully. When you see that some of the signs I have told you about have appeared, you will know that the time has come when the Most High will bring judgment on the world he has created. Let's see some of these signs that he said, when you see these things happening, that's when it's the time. Let's see if these things happening. Verse 3, there will be earthquakes. That's been happening. I forgot where it was just hit. Somewhere was just hit with a 4.3, I believe. A couple of weeks ago, you had over 1,000 earthquakes in a couple hours on the West Coast. So that's happening. There will be earthquakes. And what we seeing, what's next? And national rebellions. Look up that word rebellion. Quick Google definition. It says rebellion, an act of violent or open resistance to. Oh, look, we could play this. I'm gonna turn it down. Oh, look, hey, that's a spirit. We stopped on 144. But look, let's play it. There we go. So what it says, definition, an act of violence or open resistance to an established government or ruler. The action or process of resisting authority, control, or convention. And we look, come on, man, at any time these things can increase. Remember, you had one situation, a couple minutes to where a man got a knee put on his neck, and look what happened in the world. The whole world started an uproar. It could be that quick. So it says, these some of the signs. There will be earthquakes, national rebellions, international intrigues, right? You got BRICS, nations getting together. And look, what's all nations trying to do? Go digital. Every nation trying to go digital, leave the old way of doing things, and every nation trying to go digital. who will be linked up for the new world to come. We seeing all these things. There will be earthquakes, national rebellions, international intrigues. What else? Unstable leaders. If you're in America, you come on, man. We see unstable leaders, really in the whole world. But Joe Biden, Kamala, unstable leaders. They cabinet. These things are happening. And what else? And confused rulers. Again, America. And again, that's a lot of these rulers. Putin might be the most on point one. You know, he might be. And Kim Jong-un. But it says, when you see these things happen, you will know that they are what the Most High has spoken about since the beginning of creation. The beginning and the end of everything happens in this world are clear. And it's clear we're at the end of the world. It's clear we're at the end of the world, man. But I'm gonna play a little bit of this. I might speed it up depending on how slow you're talking, but we'll go to this next segment. We go, wrap it up here in a few. And again, for those who just chimed in, the Elder Tazo Pai, he couldn't be with us tonight. He had to take care of some things, but Lord willing, he'll be back next week. We get it, back going. If the Lord don't have something happen between that time, which I'd rather that happen. I'd rather we don't come back next week because the world changed. But we'll see, we'll see. But let's play a little bit of this real quick. So this Patrick Humphrey again, he put this out a day ago. He's been on fire lately. He says, emergency alert, official warn, coordinated attacks about to hit. Now he gonna say pretty much the same thing, but I think he's gonna play the actual video of Chris Ray himself. But let's go ahead.
This is big breaking emergency news. We just got a warning.
And two, I just typed in pro-Palestinian protests at U.S. colleges. This fresh news. Well, I'm gonna refresh it. Right, fresh news. At the time, it was 59 minutes ago, 49 minutes ago, things happening. So look into it. Look, UT Austin, Princeton, you got new ones now. See? So it's spreading. As we speak right now, it's spreading. Look, this put out April 25th, 2024, 6:05. So just look, 50 minutes ago? Because it's 5 over here. It says mass arrest Royal College campuses amid pro-Palestinian protests. Eve. Let's see who else. It says mass arrest, outrage, and turmoil. Oh, turmoil. As prophecy. Yahweh Shai said it. Luke 21. Spirit. Luke 21. What I'm looking for. Or it's in the NLT. Luke 21. Because it says turmoil. Let's read this again. Let's read that again. Where it was. I don't even know where it was. All right, so it says mass arrests, outrage, and turmoil rippled across U.S. college campuses as authorities clamp down on a growing, keyword growing, number of pro-Palestinian demonstrations. But it says turmoil is rippled across America. It's Luke 21 real quick. It's Yahweh Shai, and it's the NLT. That's another thing that was said to happen in the end of the world. Luke 21, and I'm going to start at 25. It says, there will be signs in the sun, moon, and stars. Hey, we just had the eclipse. And here it is. And here on earth, the nations will be in turmoil. Let's see what that means. A state of great disturbance, confusion, uncertainty, man. Tumult, disorder, commotion. It says perplexed by the roaring sea and strange tides. It says people will be terrified at what they see coming upon the earth, for the powers in the heavens will be shaken. Even the elites going to be in fear about the things the Lord about to do, man. It's going to be strange. Look, we're in strange times. A time like never before. That's not all over the scriptures just cause. Right? So we done with that. Remember, at the end of every movie, or should I say the best scenes of every movie is at the end. We're at the end. So let's read. I guess they got most schools that just updated 50 minutes ago. So it says students at Emory University, Northwestern University, Cornell University, George Washington University, Princeton University, the City College of New York, right? The City College of New York set up solidarity encampments on Thursday morning, the latest to join a fast-growing list of prestigious institutions. So out of all people, it's the prestigious institutions. Look, Esau might be doing some fishy. Who knows? Can't put nothing past him. You see? Look, a couple years ago it was Jake with George Floyd. This year, look, he might kickstart some with Esau first, man, because these Edomites, ready to let loose. But it said, right, I'll put that in there. Okay, here it is. It says dozens of protesters have been arrested. Dozens of protesters have been arrested since Wednesday night, including at the University of Southern California. So not just in the East Coast, but also in the West Coast. It says in the University of Texas at Austin and Emerson College. So in the South too. So look, who knows what a Lord via Esau could take this, man. Or whether Esau, if he ain't got, I wouldn't say have his hand in it because he got his hand in everything. But we'll see what the Lord take this. Right, but again, the scriptures call for uproars and turmoil in the world, and that's going to lead to 2 Ezra 15. I'm gonna save it. So let's see what he got to say.
From federal officials of, quote, coordinated attacks inside, quote, the homeland. All right, that's what they're warning of right now. Top federal officials are warning the American people that we could see attacks inside the U.S. homeland. And look at all the things that are going on right now in our country. These attacks seem to be already happening. Seems like there already are coordinated attacks and coordinated events, coordinated disruptions, riots. All these things are going on in our country right now. And they are warning that we could have an even bigger coordinated event, right? So let's dive into the news here really quick. Please hit that like, hit that subscribe. I'm posting multiple videos a day. See here, this was a interview that was just put out today, and the FBI is warning the director, and he was saying, quote, we are increasingly concerned about the potential of a coordinated attack here in the homeland. All right, so I want you to listen to what he said really quick. This is urgent, and everyone should be prepared for something big like this. You can see this just came out April 23rd tonight. This is what's playing on NBC Nightly News, right?
Have you ever seen a threat environment quite like the one we're experiencing?
As I look back over my career in law enforcement, I'm hard-pressed to come up with a time where I've seen so many different threats all elevated all at the same time, whether it's the threats from China, Russia, Iran, the terrorism threats, both foreign terrorist threats and domestic terrorist threats.
Among his pressing worries, says the FBI director, is the spillover from the Israel-Hamas conflict.
So we thought that even before October 7th, if you and I were having this conversation then, we would have said that the terrorism threat was already elevated. But post-October 7th, it's gone to a whole nother level.
There's an environment right now we're seeing play out on some college campuses, the protests over what's happening in Gaza. Are you watching that warily?
Well, of course, demonstrations themselves are not something that we, the FBI, get involved in. But when violence ensues, that's when we get concerned, when you have threats of violence. And so
that's when they get concerned. Man, you know how easy for Esau to fake something, create something for a group of people to go out there, pay him off. Look, he might have what his name, Grandmaster Jay, come out, with NFC, the Not Effing Around coalition. They might come out. So like, you see, come on, man. That's easy. Oh, hey, man, watch these Israelite groups too. It's kind of, I don't know. Guys posting that Israelites got weapons of MD. Come on, man. In these times, were they looking for it? Come on, man. But that's the point of watching. We'll see. But the FBI director Christopher Wray said all we need to get involved is something to happen is an attack. That's it.
We have seen, even before October 7th, we saw a significant increase, especially in anti-Semitic threats and anti-Semitic violence.
Are you actively monitoring these protests?
We don't monitor protests, but we do share intelligence about specific threats of violence.
Congress is on the verge of passing legislation.
All right, so you heard that there.
Right. So we can move on. I'm gonna throw this in the chat too, because he said a couple more things. Now, I want to move on to this too. As you see for the second portion of this, it says, and the writing is on the wall for America, for the USA. You know, and we get that from the scriptures, what that is, Daniel and many tackle. Let's get that real quick, because I'm gonna play this video. I'm gonna kind of let him speak, but it's things he says, so I'm gonna have to stop it, but I'm gonna try not to. I'm gonna try to, if I do get a scripture, that's the only reason I stop it, is to hit the point and I'm gonna let him speak, because everything he was saying is on point, man. And that's the things we're looking for. But real quick, this is Daniel chapter 5 and verse let's see, Daniel 5. So there's Daniel 5. And again, this is back in Babylon when the hand was written on the wall. Hey, you know, those Babylonians enjoying themselves, Belshazzar. I'm going to get straight to the point. This is Daniel chapter 5 and verse 24. Then was the part of the hand sent from him, and this was the writing that was written. And this is the writing that was written. Many tekel upharsin. This is the interpretation of the thing. Many, meaning the Most High, have numbered thy kingdom and finished it. You see? Next, tekel. Thou art weighed in the balances and are found wanting. And remember, you had CERN a couple years ago. You know, they got a message from the Most High, and it was tekel. In other words, you found wanting, man. America, Esau is found, as they say in Chicago, lacking. Perez, thy kingdom is divided and given to the Medes and the Persians, which, you know, that was back then for the actual Babylon. Today, you know, in a sense, it actually is divided. The kingdom divided can't stand, but, you know, Yahweh Shai, and, you know, will come get it. But the point is, that was the writing on the wall saying, look, your kingdom is numbered and finished. You found wanting. So let's go ahead and play this video real quick. Now, this is from Bradian.com. Mike, and there's some things he go get into. U.S. government's focus on causing harm to people and nations, U.S. empires, terrorism, and economic collapse, preparedness. Right, it ain't gonna be no preparedness for what the law about to do. So let's play it.
We've moved into a very dangerous phase of the history of the United States of America, where the entire focus.
Oh man, that's a spirit. That's a spirit. See, the next phase. Come on, man. The next phase. See? Let's listen to that again. The next phase. We moved into the new phase of doing things. We're going to the next stage of prophecy, man. We ain't just going to be posting up videos forever. The time will happen when these things will actually be playing out. Let's hear that again. Well, we got the elder Atazaria, what he put up earlier. The next phase.
We've moved into a very dangerous phase of the history of the United States of America, where the entire focus of the federal government now is how do we hurt people and how do we hurt nations? In other words, they wake up each day, the people who work in the federal government, in the regulatory agencies, as well as the State Department, the Biden regime, and so on. And that's what they're asking themselves. How do we hurt people the most? Of course, they're trying to hurt Russia. And they're willing to kill any number of Ukrainians, 500,000 Ukrainians dead already.
I'm gonna stop it real quick. I ain't gonna keep stopping it because I'm gonna read this. This is the spirit of this lesson. Revelation, not this lesson, but his video we playing. Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. And woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil, which we know as Esau Edom, The so-called white man, as the world know him, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. The so-called white man, Esau, the nation of Edom, about to come down with great wrath. America, a NATO, EU, which, man, really? Again, going into prophecy first, and then what Mike about to talk about, really America by themselves, because ain't nobody trying to mess with them. And the scriptures say that even American allies ain't gonna want to deal with them. So Esau, America, this government gonna force their hand. They're gonna do something with great wrath, and that's what he about to go into. They know their time up, man.
In order to try to hurt Russia. It hasn't worked, but that was the goal, to sacrifice Ukraine to hurt Russia. And that's what they're asking themselves. How do we hurt people the most? Of course, they're trying to hurt Russia, and they're willing to kill any number of Ukrainians, 500,000 Ukrainians dead already, in order to try to hurt Russia. It hasn't worked, but that was the goal, to sacrifice Ukraine to hurt Russia. But also it's hurting America's own allies. They wake up and say, well, how do we hurt Germany? How do we hurt Western Europe so that they're dependent on United States natural gas energy exports, or LNG, as it's called? Well, how do we do that? Well, we blow up the Nord Stream pipeline, and that's how we hurt Germany and make sure that Germany can't do business with Russia. And then we can destroy the German economy and thereby make America's economy look better in comparison to Germany's economy. And Germany was the economic leader of Europe until all this began. Think about it. The US government spends its time figuring out how to hurt people.
Now think about what he said concerning the allies portion, because that's heavy. And again, that's prophecy, man. Every little thing that's prophecy is important because it's leading to the bigger picture of things, man. He's saying not only is the government of America focusing on how to hurt their citizens, not just their enemies, but even their allies. For example, for Germany, because look, America know they're losing. For Germany to continue to trust in them and depend on them, they had to hurt Germany by blowing up that pipeline. You see how they was getting, certain natural gas from Russia, so on and so forth, at a cheaper price, but not over there in Europe. A lot of America allies are suffering because prices going up, especially in the wintertime, man. So now you at the point, America not only hurting enemies and their citizens, but even their allies, and that going to their allies turning on them.
Think about the mission of the FDA. It's like, well, how do we hurt people? Well, let's see. We tell them not to take ivermectin. We make sure they don't have access to cures or things that work to keep them healthy. We make sure that we lie to them about the effectiveness of the COVID vaccine, and we'll give it emergency use authorization, even when it's not safe and it's not effective and it doesn't stop infections and it doesn't stop transmission. But we'll just make sure everybody's jabbed with it because we want to hurt people. That's the FDA. Same thing with the CDC. Same thing with virtually every federal agency, the EPA. It's like, how do we hurt people with legalized chemicals in the food supply? Or how do we hurt farmers and shut down farms by declaring their mud puddles to be protected wetlands? And then, think about the FBI and the DOJ. They wake up every day. How do we hurt the American people? Who can we arrest today? Who can we harass today? Let's go visit people in their homes and tell them we don't like what they posted on social media. Let's intimidate people. Let's coerce people. Let's throw people in jail without a trial and inflict cruel and unusual punishment upon them. That's the J6 prisoners. Think about this. Every sector of the federal government now is focused entirely on this mission of hurting people, hurting other nations, and hurting the world. And the reason they do this is because they think that this is how to protect America's dominance. Since America is falling and America is not doing a great job of, inventing things or producing things or even educating its own people, the way to compete in the world, according to America's current leaders, is to hurt everybody else and bring them down. And then, well, maybe America might have a chance. That's the philosophy. Same thing with the policies in the Middle East. It's like, how do we hurt people?
You already said, let's play that back one more time. Because we can clearly see Esau know he got a short time. How could I take everybody out with me? Things about to get different in the world, man, especially here over here in Babylon the Great.
Things are producing things or even educating its own people. The way to compete in the world, according to America's current leaders, is to hurt everybody else and bring them down. And then, well, maybe America might have a chance. That's the philosophy. Same thing with the policies in the Middle East. It's like, how do we hurt people? How do we bomb people? How do we murder women and children? Well, let's give more money to Israel. They'll do it on our behalf. Israel is the proxy terror state of the United States of America. And it doesn't matter what the leaders say in America is, oh, well, Israel should stop killing civilians. Here, have some more bombs, you know? It's what they do. They keep giving them more and more weapons. And then, of course, all these trade sanctions against China. And recently, Janet Yellen went to China and said, hey, China.
And again, what he going into? The writing is on the wall for America. Everything he touched on all spectrums of the American society is being affected right now, man. Whether it's on land, domestically, or foreign, everything being affected, and America is being hated by the world is his point. And he going into America know it's falling. The world know it's falling. So it's clear these people got to do something to force the world hand, man. That's how the writing is on the wall. It's look, Esau being exposed. What else he about to do? Time speeding up. Look, Israel waking up more and more across the four corners. You know, Esau with his YouTube, I'm sure video views going up daily across the four corners. Not just saying Great Millstone. Anybody with this truth, man. You got these whistleblowers. Something gotta happen, man. Something gonna happen. According to prophecy, it ain't gonna stay like this forever.
Stop selling technology to Russia because we say so. China laughed in her ugly little smug face. Said, you don't tell us who we sell to. You're America. You're a collapsing, dead, obsolete empire.
Now imagine, imagine this is. I ain't gonna try to stop it. I'm not gonna try to stop it. This is an American. He bleed red, white, and blue, and he's saying this about his own country. It's clear we at that time America falling, man.
China laughed in her ugly little smug face. Said, you don't tell us who we sell to. You're America. You're a collapsing, dead, obsolete empire. Your currency is going to be nothing. You know, we're China. We're the future of the world here. And they're not going to listen to Janet Yellen. But isn't it interesting that the arrogance and incompetence of U.S. leaders is so great that they think they can run around the world and tell people who they can do business with and who they can't, because they weaponize sanctions everywhere. And that's why everybody's fleeing the dollar. And so just the weaponization of the dollar was another form of pain that was inflicted on over 100 countries for decades.
Right. You're going into how America had, the dollar tied, with oil. And I was kind of reading into it earlier. Got a little article right here, which I ain't gonna get into. I'm about to wind it down. I'll put this in the chat, but a little bit of it. It says the Bretton Woods, or the rise of the petrodollar, the Bretton Woods system of fixed currency exchange rates tied to gold through the U.S. dollar collapsed in 1971 because the global economy and its demand for safe assets outgrew the supply of bullion. And then it goes into how they, kind of linked it with oil. But nevertheless, now you're seeing a lot of countries, first, China and Russia, they lead it. It says China and Russia limit trading in the U.S. dollar. And not only them, but they lead in charge of everybody else. It says BRICS, ready to work with all countries to ditch the U.S. dollar. Everybody hating this place right now, man. As prophecy say, I'm thinking of, Obadiah. You despised amongst the heathens. You are greatly despised, roughly paraphrasing. Just like the Lord said about Nineveh. How your skirt being lifted. Everybody's seeing this place for who it is, and they choosing sides.
It's just a source of pain. Say, well, we're America. We have the world's reserve currency, and we tell you who you can sell to, who you can't, or who you can buy from. And if you don't do what we say, then we'll cut you off from the banking system. Well, guess what? The world's done with that. The world's done with America's international terrorism. Well, it's another word for just wanting to hurt everybody. The U.S. empire operates as a group of terrorists running around the world, killing whoever they want, even under Trump. Trump ordered the assassination of Soleimani, the Iranian official, lured him into a trap in an airport, hit him with a missile strike from a drone, killed him and everybody with him. Just a straight up assassination. No diplomacy, no rule of law, nothing. Just, oh, you're guilty because we say you're guilty. We're going to kill you because we say we can and we will. That's America. A terror state that has been committing financial terrorism, kinetic terrorism, war terrorism around the world for as long as I can remember. Even the Gulf War, the first Desert Storm. What was that all about? It was about control over energy. And also, of course, inflicting damage upon Iraq because Saddam Hussein wanted to sell oil in a currency other than the dollar. Yeah, you didn't know that, did you? Or maybe you did, but most people don't know that. That was his crime, was saying, well, we're going to sell oil in other currencies. So they had to take him out.
So if they did that back then, somebody trying to separate from using a dollar, what you think? And look, they had to respond. They had to do something. What you think now that China and Russia leading that and the whole world getting down with it? And look, man, that's a prophetic picture right there. Putin, man, that's Ezekiel 38 right there, man. See? That's a screenshot that. Get that. Prophetic. But I might play a little. I'm gonna speed it up, but as he's speaking, I'm gonna get some precepts and I'm gonna wind it down here in a few.
Had to kill him. A similar story with Gaddafi in Libya. Libya was actually a relatively stable country in North Africa until the United States got word that, oh, he wasn't playing ball with us. He wasn't going to go along with us and do what the CIA wants. Well, we're going to have to kill him. And so they destroyed Libya, destroyed its economy, assassinated its leader. And Hillary Clinton said, we came, we saw, we conquered. And she laughed, her little witch cackle. And this is the way the U.S. operates. Folks, it's the same under Trump. It's the same under Bill Clinton. It's the same under Barack Obama, the same under George Bush. There's no difference. The United States empire is an empire of international terrorism. And its primary focus is plotting to inflict maximum pain and suffering and death upon the people of the world and the people of America.
Man, do you hear this, man? Man, that's what that is. Habakkuk 2. His soul ain't upright in him. He go around the world terrorizing everybody, man. The world see him now. Hey, Isaiah 32. Everybody see him. Now everybody see this man is look, the danger to the earth. Even look, being called out. Now Mike might be, I don't know, he might be Jake. Everybody that say something good, you got to give him the, he might be good. But this is from outside, from the outside, from the flesh. This is an Edomite, man, talking about America. He clearly see it's over. And this one who fight for his country, he know it's over. And everything he's saying that America been doing, and end time prophecy says these people is going to be exposed. Everything he just said, it lined up with the Bible, man, on what Esau would be doing, going around the world by way of Babylon the Great, the hammer of the earth, destroying everybody. You see, enslaving people, messing up everything. But now his point is, it's clear it's over because nobody worried about you no more. Everybody see you falling. Come on, let me get a quick precept. Everybody see America falling. No, look, the weak saying they strong now. That's what he was going into. China, Janet Yellen tried to tell them, look, stop selling certain technology to Russia. Man, them Chinese people, the Moabites laughed in their face. You can't tell us what to do no more. Go ahead and, get back on your plane. That's the time we in, man. Because everybody see America and they see it's over. This is Nahum. Now, when you go into this, it's going into the judgment of Nineveh, which is the capital of ancient Assyria. But again, a lot of these kingdoms of old, the way they was ruled, certain characteristics of them, you could liken it unto America because it got certain of those same gods, the same laws and ways, and putting the woman on a pedestal, whatever it may be, certain wickedness, man changing a woman, woman changing a man. A lot of these things we see in America. So this judgment that came to Nineveh, or the exposing of it, we seen it playing out in this current society as well. Nothing new under the sun. So this is Nahum chapter 3 and verse. Let's get straight to the point. Now it's going into, let's start at 4. It says, all this because Nineveh, this beautiful and faithless city, mistress of deadly charms, just like that whore in Revelation, enticed the nations with her beauty. She taught them all her magic, enchanting people everywhere. Sounds just like that woman in Revelation. That's America. As we know, the philosophies of this place, democracy, so on and so forth. Sound just like this place. The witchcraft, the way of life, that American lifestyle. So the Lord got to say this: I am your enemy. And this is in the NLT. This is in the NLT as well. So like it. But it says, I am your enemy. Come on, man. It says, come on, man. Nahum 3 and 5 NLT. I am your enemy, says Yahweh of heaven's armies. And now I will lift your skirts. Because remember, this is a woman. So if a woman's skirt lifted, that means she what? She exposed now. So the Lord said, and now I will lift your skirts and show all the earth your nakedness and shame. Everybody seeing this place for what it is and who it is. Don't keep his promises, even if it's signed documents, taking resources, putting everybody in captivity. You could tell me what I could do in my country and how I need to do it. But look how you doing stuff in your country, man. Come on, man. So everybody's seeing that now. Oh, and that's another thing he was saying. Another thing these nations know, and I might still play a lot, but I'm going to wind it down. I'm going to put this, but he was going in. It is not that long. I'm going to play it. But he was saying that these countries know that America got old, worn out military equipment. Yeah, it was booming back then, right? It was cool back then when we ain't have it, but now we surpassed you. That's old work. Come on, man. These nations ready. And not just the enemies. Remember, he said the allies don't care no more. Remember what her name was? Angela Merkel, the former chancellor of Germany. She told, when Trump was in office, she said, look, you better watch how you treat your allies because they are not many. And she a part of the beast. They're a part of the beast. The beast, Revelation 17, the beast go turn. But let's go back to this. Let's finish reading this. So the Lord saying, and now I will lift your skirts and show all the earth your nakedness and shame. What's really going on with you? It says, I will cover you with filth. The nation's mocking America. We're going to play that video some more because everything we read, he's saying it. That's why it's prophecy. I will cover you with filth and show the world how vile you really are. Come on, man. We in that time. The Lord is showing the world how vile Esau, Edom, and America, not just America, because look, them small hats over there, they Edomites too. The Lord is showing the world how filthy they are too. Come on. We in that time. Esau being exposed. And again, these nations know that. Let's go to the judgment of Edom, because in this judgment of Edom, it's going to also mention at the end, her allies go turn against them and going to help the enemy. Although it ain't got to be in mainstream media. They doing it behind closed doors, first and foremost, because it's written. This Obadiah chapter 1, and it says, Edom's judgment announced. And it's the NLT. I'm going to read the top and I'm going to jump down. Verse 1, it says, this is the vision that the sovereign Lord, Yahweh, revealed to Obadiah concerning the land of Edom. Just like we are people before a place, Esau are people before a place. You see? It says, verse 2, we have heard a message from Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, that an ambassador was sent to the nations to say, and who are those ambassadors? That's the prophets. Get ready, everyone. Let's assemble our armies and attack Edom. And now you're seeing that same spirit is being pushed out in these armies across the world. But who the main one doing it? Russia, man. Russia. He the main one saying, let's assemble our armies and attack Edom. So we all saying at the same tune, really. But it says, let's jump down. No, we got to read verse 2. The Lord says to Edom, I will cut you down to size among the nations. You will be greatly despised. This hit on Nahum, being exposed. Nobody want to have nothing to do with America. Now let's jump down, or even Esau with the small hats. Verse 7. Go straight to the point. I'm going to play the video a little bit more and I'm going to end it. It says, all your allies will turn against you. They will help who? They're going to help Russia. They're going to help China. They're going to help all the other BRICS members. If they not a BRICS member by this time themselves, it says all your allies will turn against you. That's to tell you it's going to have to be behind closed doors. It says they will help to chase you from your land. They will promise you peace while plotting to deceive and destroy you. They telling America what they want to hear. Look, the EU, certain EU members, remember, they getting tired too. They getting tired of America antics too, because they suffering because of it. The beast gonna get tired of America just along with everybody else, telling America what they want to hear on the phone, like, yeah, we gonna get Putin, yeah, we gonna get your back with Israel, but then calling Putin and say, yeah, they told us this and they gonna do this, yeah, and then, look, we got missiles over here, we gonna launch them first here, then look, this the plan. Come on, remember Iran said last week, they told Israel, look, you better chill, because now we know what all your missiles at. We got you now. We know how you look, your Iron Dome work, so chill a little bit. Come on, man. Israel, America and Israel are backed into a corner right now. It says all your allies will turn against you. They will help to chase you from your land. They will promise you peace while plotting to deceive and destroy you. And look, that's telling, man, come on. All you who bend the bow, shoot at her. So they ain't just talking about how to deceive America and have, you know, a better portion of the new digital society. No, what's also a part of the plotting to destroy America? Missiles, man. So they ain't just talking to Putin. Look, we want to be in. We seeing the good stuff y'all doing with BRICS and a digital currency. We like what y'all doing, so we want to join. No, they also talking to Russia and these other nations, America's enemies, about destroying this place. Look, you aim your missiles over here. We gonna do this. You send out a submarine. Look, Putin, we gonna send some submarines and you gonna shoot them. They talking about it. It says your trusted friends will set traps for you. See, they're going to tell Putin and them the strategies, the war strategies, and you won't even know about it. That's the times we're in. Let's play Mike a little bit more.
Think about the bioweapons vaccine jab, right? It's like, how do we kill the maximum number of American people? Well, convince them there's a pandemic and then get them to line up and take a death jab. And then when people start dying, call it a conspiracy theory and ban people for misinformation because the government tells big tech who to censor. They just hand them a list. Hey, Facebook, ban this account, that account. Of course, Health Ranger account, always.
Real quick, I ain't gonna read into this one, but I thought this article funny because, man, these nations, they talking. They chest up, head up, they talking. So this article was saying, and I'm gonna go back to Mike and we gonna end it. This article saying how America, they confiscated or stole frozen Russian assets, and they gonna give them to Ukraine. So America said, look, Russia, we got this. We're gonna give them to Ukraine because we think you need to pay Ukraine back for what y'all done. So Russia coming back and said, I wish you would. I wish you would. And Russia saying, not only is this gonna hurt you, this gonna hurt the world. I wish you would, man. These nations ready. And who knows what they've been talking to in conversations they had with these American allies. Who knows what's already set up. The law been working on their minds. But Russia said, I wish you would. They ain't say that, but that's the spirit they coming in. You know, Jay got to, exaggerate, but let's read this. So this was what Dmitry Peskov said, and that's Russia speaker. In other words, you know how the American speaker is the Haitian woman with the curly hair, Juan Jean Pierre. Well, he the speaker of Russia. So this is what he said. This would be nothing short of a breakdown of all foundations of the global economic system. He told journalists, adding that the White House will set a dangerous precedent if it dares to follow through on a threat. I wish you would. I almost want to clap. I wish you would. It says, in no way could that be considered a lawful action. Try it if you want to, man. And in order for these nations to talk like that, they got to know something. They got to have some plan up their sleeve. He says, look, following through on a threat, he says it will cause serious damage to the economic interests of the U.S. And he explained because many nations and many investors would certainly think 10 times before putting their money into the American economy and parking their assets there. So either way, if you do it, it's going to look bad for you and we're going to retaliate. So just don't even do it. And, you know, America don't like to back down from threats because they, you know, they feel, you know, like they got a little bored or something, man. But that's how these nations feel. And the Lord got it in their mind like that.
Always is named.
I'm going to end it after about 2 minutes of this.
For being banned. Hey, YouTube, ban all these accounts, all these people. And it's only going to get worse because the United States empire is an out of control terror regime that has now crossed a tipping point where the world has already decided that, well, it cannot tolerate doing business in American currency any longer. That's why, by the way, the world is laughing at America when the US government rolls out these transgender Space Force colonels and transgender Navy admirals or whatever the ranks are. It's just like, you're just a greasy old fat dude wearing a wig.
Hey, didn't we read that in Nahum? He lifted the skirt. Everybody's seeing you now, man.
It's like, this is the military. America is the laughingstock of the world. And now, you know.
Man, you know what? I think they had that in Nahum. How you gonna be a laughingstock? What's that in there? So like I thought it. I probably said it's whatever. It's whatever. It's neither here nor there. Brothers probably know where it's at, but I thought it said something like laughingstock.
You notice when U.S. officials go visit other countries, they're just, for the most part, they're just laughed at because nobody has any respect for the U.S. The U.S. is running around the world with a power display of aircraft carriers that were obsolete 20 years ago, pretending to have an effective fighting force, pretending to have a currency that's still worth something. It's all just pretend. None of it has any longevity. And the United States of America itself is a collapsing nation with a collapsing currency, a collapsing system of government, and nobody in America trusts the government. So where do you think this is going? Nothing good, nothing good. So get prepared for the collapse. And, I wish this wasn't happening. I love the founding concepts of the United States of America, the founding fathers. And I wish that all of this wasn't happening, but
that's the thing is happening. So we can't change it. It is what it is. We're in that time the Lord word speaking. Isaiah 55, he said, oh man, I forgot to post that video. Let me get it. But Isaiah 55, let me see. He said, as rain go down and, go to the earth, so shall this word be. So this word been going out. So guess what? It got to happen. These things got to happen. These things got to take place. I don't know if I posted that vid for y'all. All right, here you go. So I'm in it right there. You know what? I'm gonna get a precept because his last words was what? Get ready for the collapse. We got to end it with a precept. This 2 Ezra 14, and it's in the GNT. 2 Ezra 14, straight to the point. Because the Lord told Ezra, look, you almost to the end of the world, but you ain't just there. But this is the mindset going into the end of the world. 2 Ezra 14 and 13. So set your house in order. Warn your people, because he said, get ready for the collapse. Comfort those who are humble and teach those who are wise. Then say goodbye to this mortal life. And this is 2 Ezra 14 in the GNT. It says, then say goodbye to this mortal life. Put earthly cares away from you. Throw down your human burdens and lay aside your weak human nature, right? The things that these people care about and worry about. We shouldn't worry about them same things. We know it's about to end. It says, put all your anxieties aside and get ready to leave this world quickly. This is the point, verse 16. You have seen many evil things already, but far worse things are about to happen. As the world grows older and weaker, the evils that will come upon his people will multiply. So we definitely in that time. You see, a lot about to happen. So, hey, speaking to myself first and foremost, keep an eye on the swivel. Because anything can happen at any time. Here it is. Yup. The water con. That is a gazing stock. There, Dr. Zaria had it in the brother Kasai. Nahum 3 and 6. Okay, it's in the KJV. It says, and I will cast abominable filth upon thee and make thee vile and will set thee as a gazing stock. Let's see what that means. It says a person or thing gazed at, putting that in mind too, gazed at by many, the whole world, especially with curiosity or contempt. What contempt mean? The feeling that a person is beneath consideration, worthless, or deserving scorn. Come on, man. That's what we're seeing right now, how the world feeling about Esau Edom. Despicable. Come on, man. So I end it right there. You know, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Put that in the chat too. And the water, you know, I can for the precepts as well. The water for tuning in. But with that, Lord willing, again, this has been edifying. Again, Elder Taza Power wasn't able to make it today. You know, had some things to do. You know, we still in Babylon, so but he has some things to do today. So Lord willing, he follow up next week with us and we get back rolling. But other than that, again, the water for tuning in. Want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash. And not just all praises and honor, you know, you got to throw that glory in there as well. So all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash. And double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, you know, and as well as they elders. And peace and blessings to all you Wakim out there who pushing this word with all truth and sincerity. And as well as to all you believers out there who believe on the gospel. And keep fighting, keep pushing. We're almost out of here, you know. And again, it's like we know the script. We're watching a movie, so we're on the edge of our seat, seeing what the Lord gonna do next. These exciting times. But hey, keep fighting, keep pushing. And with that, shalom.